What's good? You already know. Welcome to the Unknown Unknowns podcast. This is your girl Shady Cartier on this very spooky Halloween night with your host, Mobius.
Every night has been spooky in 2020.
I guess you could catch the sauce at any moment, at any turn. Like, I can't. Anyway, listen, you already know it's the all black experience over here, and we are not Gaelic, we are not Celtic, we are not Irish, we are not pagans. We don't celebrate Halloween. Like, let's not play. But anyway, who did you dress up for Halloween as tonight?
I threw on a stormtrooper helmet, and I had a hoodie that I got from Etsy that's multicam. Etsy, man. I got a hoodie it's multicam, but it's Mandalorian camo.
Yeah, that shit, yeah. It fit. That shit look fly.
Shout out to Battle Tribe. Go get your Mando cam apparel over there. It's pretty tight.
I don't know nothing about that shit, y'all, but you already know Mobius be on that other wild alternative Oreo type shit that he be on. Listen, man, it's been a brick. Like, what's going on? How are you? Like, I see you, Stormtrooper representative. You know me, I'm doing a Karen thing for Halloween. I'm a white woman. So yeah, what's up, Mobius? What's up? What's new?
It's been a little bit between our last episodes, so we have I think the last thing we did was probably the lightning round, or no, the mini-sode where we talked about the last debate, and it was hilarious.
Politics.
And then we did another episode in between that. So here we are this Halloween, and we are on the cusp of the next election. I went out and voted.
Really?
I went out and voted. My dad went out and voted, which was very surprising. I think my stepmom dragged him with her.
Sounds about right.
And then, Unc voted. I had to talk to my homies about them voting. Even if you have to vote, you vote for whoever you want. Okay, nobody's saying you got to vote any one way. Vote for who you want. Just go vote before you start complaining and go, "Oh man, he shouldn't have been. They should lock him up. He's telling lies." Blah blah. Oh, you don't have the right to say shit. Just nod and smile and wave like the penguins of Madagascar because you didn't do your job. Go vote. It's not supposed to be fun. They really should give us that should be a holiday or a paid day off or something, but that's neither here nor there. Go vote. So
just so we're clear, I do not at all agree with Mobius. I definitely think voting is important, but when it comes to whether you have the right to talk shit or not, if your vote literally doesn't count because it's about the electoral votes, if your vote really don't matter, then you live in this country either way. You're a citizen. You deserve the ability to talk shit. Shout out to the First Amendment. Anyway, so definitely go vote.
You can't. I'm just saying I don't want to hear it.
That's just a slogan that people say all the time, and I just be like, it don't matter. If don't nobody give a fuck about your vote anyway, if your ballot was thrown out the fucking window, whatever. But I definitely feel like regardless, you should pay attention and figure out what difference you can make in your own community. Because another disconnect, a very large disconnect I feel like we have is we'll vote.
Only for the president.
No, that's the only person we've researched. But we'll vote and then have no clue about how to actually do anything that needs to be done on our end when it comes to our city and our state. So yeah, it's okay, we're all amped up about voting for the president, but what about, did you research your I don't know, what is it called? The Department of Education. Like, you know what I'm saying? The other people that's on the ballot, did you research them? Are you really paying attention to what they doing in the community? Are you going to your community meetings so you can make a difference in your community? Because you can vote all day, but that's not where your actions should end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to write the letters to your local representatives and your mayors and all of this to bring certain things to their attention so you can hold them accountable. And so, I don't really want to get into that because we got a whole nother, like, we got to wrap that shit up. The election is right around the corner. Y'all already know the last day to vote was on the 2nd. I had the mail-in junk. I did a whole bunch of research yesterday, actually, and then I mailed mine in earlier tonight. So definitely, man, go out there. If you mailing yours in, mail it in, like, whatever. Do your part. Share the word. Represent. I'm proud of you. If nobody else is, again, I feel like it take big balls to not vote for the candidates that they want you to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's what, I feel like there needs to be more of that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, shout out to the Green Party. And shit, I don't know. I got a little stupid never current event. Is there anything else you want to say about that? Or?
I mean, we can either come back to it or
I don't know. It's going down the rabbit hole after this. I don't know if we're gonna make it back to this.
All right. All right.
Like,
so,
shit, boy.
I guess piggybacking off of what she said, if nobody else told you, like, we're proud of you, do your civic duty and be happy. It's a process. It's way more political than it's ever been before, but be proud that you did what you were supposed to do. Just like jury duty, don't let anybody tell you what to do. Use your own reason and sense. And then when it's all over, you can either talk about it and try to become a more informed person, or you can go, this was annoying, and shut it off for the next 4 years or whatever.
Right.
But remember, there's still other stuff that goes on in between. It's these local elections. Or if you're pro 2A like I am, you gotta make these local elections count, because if not, then you're gonna get someone who is very anti 2A. So these other little things matter. The education, education matters. One of the bills that, like, gambling's opening up a lot of paths for schools to get more money. So if one of your bills,
so ratchet.
I mean, yeah, it depends on how you feel about that. I have mixed feelings, but we're always complaining about schools not having enough money, or teachers not getting paid enough, or funding, or just overcrowded classrooms and all that stuff. So you could feel some type of way about it, but do the math. Like, does it make sense to you? Do you want to keep the separation of church and state? Do you want to keep gambling away from schools? Well, it depends on where you live, because if you live in an area where, the school to prison pipeline is exponentially higher, then having that gambling money pay for your schools and some new books might not be a bad idea. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, do what makes sense. And at the end of the day, still be nice. Don't kill each other.
Right, because this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
So did you hear about? This is so funny. I know you didn't hear about this. So Dad put an ad out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not your person.
That was a half red, half blue.
Uh-huh.
And it was something about, like, let's all be on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, we gotta cooperate. Like, let's not be two separate gangs, the red and the blue. Like, no matter who wins, we're still one nation type shit.
What is that? Purple?
Somebody make them pull it down.
Or green. Red and blue make green.
No, they took a hoodie and cut it down the middle with the zipper.
Mm-hmm.
Red on one side, blue on the other side.
And then what?
And people was talking shit, so they took it down. How sensitive is that? Like, I can't. That shit is whack.
They should have stood by that. Like,
that shit. All of that shit is whack. The only other current event I have to get into before we go down, down, down into the rabbit hole, baby. Yeah, that's not even a song. So I don't even know. I've been trying to, get some research on this, but I ain't really had enough time, and I don't really care, because I feel like all of them is crooked, and they trifling, and we just need to learn the game. So shout out to Pelosi and her family and her lawyers, because she's going to need some damn good ones. Shout out to the DC Patriot And the website freerepublic.com. That's where this story is coming from. It was reported earlier today, I guess like this morning, by Matt Couch. He was just bringing up some old shit. He put the link to the 60-minute video from 2008 with Pelosi, where she's being pressed out and being asked questions about the 8 IPOs that she invested in. Obviously, the biggest one that everybody's talking about is the $5,000 that she purchased in shares of Visa for $44, and 2 days later it went up to $64. So I don't know if you know about the stock or you be in the stock at all, but it sounded like it was some insider shit going on.
Insider trading.
You know what I mean? It's just some shit. Just some shit. Like, I'ma call my homie and be like, yeah, tell everybody to put money in Visa in like 2 days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or tell everybody to put money in Visa. Shit, I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch of stock. If everybody put their money in there too, boom, 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 bang, 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 then my shit gonna go up. Like, listen, I don't know the whole game, but I'm telling you,
breaking the law.
Listen, they treat us brown and black people. They treat us like we are the number one crooks and the criminals, and we came to their country to be crooked and criminally. But guess what? Y'all the best that ever did it, and we learned it from you. Super predators. Y'all the best who ever did it. So I don't even know why y'all playing and trying to put it on other races. Oh my God, y'all wow, y'all crazy. No, nigga, no. Listen, they invested $220,000, and in 2 days they had $320,000. I'm trying to get $100,000 check. I've been on the stocks in the market, and I be like, I put $50 in. I only made like 59 cents. Like, I'm disgusted. Anyway, but at the end of the day, it's a long-term investment. You know what I'm saying? I get all of that. And obviously, it's ridiculous because everything that I've been watching, and as far as like educating yourself in the stock market, they're talking about put the money in there and let it sit for years and years and then come back and get your bread. Is that what they just did? Fuck no. Fuck no. And so, like, we not even gonna get into that. That's gonna have to be a whole nother episode about the different types of education we receive. You know what I'm saying? About what they tell us we could do so we could get the great American dream. And then what's the real steps to getting the American dream? Like, what's the real steps? Because it's not the shit you telling us. It's not go to school, get an education, get a scholarship, get into a great college, and get a bomb-ass job. That shit was a lie.
It's literally just knowing some dudes.
Knowing some fucking dudes. Knowing the right dudes. Right time, right place. Who your mama or your daddy fucking. Like, that shit is crazy. But anyway, let's get back in the motherfucking mood. Like, that shit is whack. I don't even want to be on that. You know what I'm saying? It's hang out with the devil day. I don't really bang with none of that. But, I always feel a need to, like, I just want to use it as an opportunity to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do in the all black experience. Man, hit us up on Instagram. Okay, because what I want to know from our listeners is like, what was you doing as a child on Halloween? What movies did you watch? Like, did your mother let you leave the fucking house? Yeah. No.
When we lived in the apartment.
I was about to say without cousins.
No.
So where was you allowed to go outside on Halloween? Because mommy wasn't having that shit.
We went door to door in our apartment.
Oh yeah, in the building. Yeah, that was it. Mommy wasn't like I said.
We didn't do trunk or treat. We had an apartment that was connected via like the basement. The basement where the laundry was.
Laundry room.
Yeah,
that
so we would go down all the way to the basement and then go across to like 2 other apartments and then go trick or treating backwards all the way back to home. And then eat all the candy as we walked home too. It was
because we wasn't even allowed to have that shit either. Like,
she
probably would have took it. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
We ain't go outside, Mom.
you wow. Anyway, definitely. We had to be creative growing up because it wasn't just like nowadays. It's like people know what day of the year. We just want to let our kids be in the street all night long. Like, it's 2020. It's 2019. We just going to let our kids be in the street all night long, every day, all the time. We just going to let the TV raise our kids. Like, this shit is just crazy. And it's just... like, nobody's really paying attention.
Well, that's not new.
What's really going, but I feel like it's definitely getting. Yeah, it's definitely not at all new. Okay, Mobius is absolutely right.
Gen X.
It's nothing new about shitty parenting. That's not new. But it's just the level of, I guess, acceptance. Like, it's just still happening. Like, at what point do you see, dang, my parents raised me like this, or this is what the world is saying on TV?
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you be like, I'm not going to raise my child like that? Because these motherfuckers is doing the same shit. Like, and for me, it's a little different because, our mother did not let us just always go outside. Like, I remember that one time when we lived in the hood where we got cabin fever.
Yeah.
You remember when we lived over there?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all hoods. Shout out to all hoods.
Shout out to anybody who had cabin fever before Corona.
Yo,
that was,
yes.
You better take your ass in the house. I mean, we was able to go to the corner store and get some candy sometimes. Very, very little.
Yes, that was very little.
Very little.
But I call it cabin fever was that winter, that first winter that we was there.
I remember that.
That was hard. It was like we didn't go outside for like 20 days.
And I wasn't even going to the school.
That should make you feel like you crazy.
I wasn't going to the elementary school that I normally went to. I went to a different one, and it just turned into something else. Like, I think that snow in combination with how we normally would kind of interact with each other, because you went to your school and I went to mine's.
Right.
We didn't have any of that. You know, how did mom take you to school too, or did you? How did you get to school?
I was always on the metro.
You was okay. So
mom ain't never, bro. Like, that's one thing. She never gave me rides in school, young. It was always like, I was trucking to school, y'all. I was trucking. I was like, all right, you got to get on this bus that's going to take you to this metro station. First of all, I'm in another state. You're in this state. You got to get on this bus that's going to take you to a metro station. Then you're going to get on the train, and that's going to take you to the other state. And then when you get there, then you got to get on the bus, or you got to walk like a half a mile. And I mean, that shit ain't nothing now.
Shout
or
out.
like a whole mile. It was like a whole mile. How about
shout
that?
Shout out to going to school in a completely different state.
Yes.
And then not telling people about it.
Shout out to the struggle where you live over here, but they put you in school over there.
The good schools was over there, so you had
right.
Discreetly. Shout out to that one time that you had your Death Note-esque lunchbox, and you told me to bring it to school, and then I left it outside. I'm sorry.
Thanks for nothing.
I was a child.
Thanks for absolutely nothing.
I was a child. I do remember all of those things, and we look back on those memories fondly.
I had a very expensive Freddy Krueger lunchbox.
Was that the lunchbox? I thought it was a Slim Shady lunchbox.
Yeah, you probably lost a Slim Shady one.
Mm-hmm.
That got replaced with a Freddy Krueger one. And they was like, "Oh, you doing witchcraft in this joint?"
No, I describe it as Death Note-esque, because if you opened it on the inside, no, it was on the outside. It said "touch and die," and then you open it, and it was like, "No, really, you're gonna die though."
It was like, yeah, it was super shady. Mm-hmm. Shout out to a younger myself. So with this not so holiday,
overtime and candy. It's a holiday to me.
Yeah, it's all about, damn, he said overtime. It's definitely about like getting free sugar. It's really bad for your teeth. And it rots your motherfucking kids' brains. Mm. And so, hold on. That wasn't even on the agenda to talk about. But let's talk about something, like, just real quick. So, there is a study in a school that I read that was set up just for, like, ADD kids or whatever. Mm. And in this school, they had, like, all the snack machines, all the soda machines, all that shit. They actually took all of that out. And they would give them like fruit snacks and stuff. So they took the machines out and they would just give the kids, I guess, as another option. Mm-hmm. Like, here's fruit for free, whatever. Here's some free snacks. And so what happened, it ended up helping the kids concentrate.
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
not that it helped them concentrate, but when they did the testing on the kids' mental, they noticed that there was a difference. The less sugar that the kids intake, the more they was able to pay attention. The less violent that the kids were, and angry towards each other. The less disorderly conduct. And so y'all need to pay attention. It's not just about a season. It's not just about selling candy. It's not just about a car company selling cars. It's bigger than that. And so that's our rabbit hole. Like, we always keeping it real. We always keeping it 100,000 with you. Like, I done been through some shit. And so I guess that's why I see things the way I see them. But I feel like other people who are blessed, who are lucky, who your life just ain't even bring you down that path, like, you're not even paying attention to what's going on. And you think what they told you or what they taught you is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And child, please. I mean, why you think people be jumping out the motherfucking window in their office and their jobs? They be finding out. Yeah. They be like, ooh, you the best person at this company. You the best, you the best, you the best. And you make one mistake and they like, yeah, it's
we
over
the
for
best.
you. It's
DJ
over.
Khaled.
No. Anyway. So when you Google or when you just type it, oh no. So no shout outs to Bing.
Bing is whack.
This information is from Bing. Halloween, the night of October 31st, the eve of All Saints Day, commonly celebrated by children who dress in costume and solicit candy.
Give me your candy.
Or other treats door to door. Okay, I guess that's the Bing. It says powered by Oxford Dictionaries. No, honey. I guess that's the Bing little definition or whatever. You know, I like to let Wikipedia lie to me. You know. That's who I like to get my lies from. So now I'm gonna read to y'all what it say on Wikipedia. Halloween, also known as All Halloween. I don't know. I ain't never heard of that one. All Hallows Eve. That's the joke I heard. Eve, yeah. All Saints Eve. That's like Catholic or whatever. Is a celebration observed in many countries on the 31st of October, the eve of the Western Christian feast of All Hallows Day. It begins the observance of All Hallow Tide, which I don't know about that. The time in the liturgical year dedicated to remembering the dead, including saints, which are hallows, martyrs, and all the faithful departed. One theory holds that many Halloween traditions may have been influenced by ancient Celtic harvest festivals, particularly the Gaelic festival of Samhain, which may have had pagan roots. I don't like the may have had. I don't like that. But anyway, some scholars hold that Samhain may have been Christianized as All Hallows Day, along with its eve by the early church. Other academics believe, however, that Halloween began solely as a Christian holiday, being the vigil of All Hallows Day. Okay? So let me see how I can get into that without going too deep. Right.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Welcome to your feature-length monologue.
Oh shit. That's fucked up.
I'm gonna cut in and try to get something, but that's all this is.
So ridiculous. So one of the things that I don't like, I understand that they're giving you it's very surface. I need every American, every Googler, every person who has received a biased education. That's
so everybody.
That's you. That's you. No, that's also you. No, that's your cousin. That's the person sitting right next to you. Yes, that was my point. Literally, there's a few things. There's understanding. There's overstanding. There's reading between the lines.
Double speak.
There's understanding the double speak. I just really need everybody to understand that no matter what I tell you the definition of a word is, it goes deeper and it goes deeper and it goes deeper. You know what I'm saying? The definition, it depends on what country, what year, what's going on in the world, of the information that they're going to give you. And so, and we all know Wikipedia is dangerous because people just be, I'm going to type in whatever I want. So let pagans take over Wikipedia tomorrow and you already know where it's going to go. My point is, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I can't get into it too much. I'm going to explain to y'all more about Samhain. But first, I'm going to continue to get into, I guess, like the Americanized version of Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Halloween activities include trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treat.
Or attending Halloween costume parties, carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns.
I ain't mess with that.
Yeah, my mother would just, only like a few times, because she didn't even do this all the time. This was like when I was real, real young. She would just take the seeds out and throw them in the oven just so we could eat pumpkin seeds. She wasn't cutting no pictures. She wasn't doing none of that. And she wouldn't even let me she wouldn't let me touch the pumpkin.
It's too messy.
I guess. Lighting bonfires, apple bobbing, divination games.
Okay.
Yeah, divination is not a game. Playing pranks, visiting haunted attractions, telling scary stories, as well as watching horror films. We definitely did that. In many parts of the world, the Christian religious observances of All Hallows Eve, including attending church services and lighting candles on the graves of the dead, remain popular, although elsewhere it is a more commercial and secular celebration. It's definitely like that here in America.
I was like, so that sounds like accidentally spooky.
Right, like it's super secular here and it's super commercial. Like it's not about, I don't know. It's deeper in other countries. It's definitely deeper. Some Christians historically abstained from meat on All Hallows Eve, a tradition reflecting in the eating of certain vegetarian foods on this vigil day, including apples, potato, pancakes, and soul cakes. I don't know nothing about these soul cakes. I had a potato cake before, and that was good. Well, it was made out of mashed potatoes.
Didn't you make that for me once?
Never in your life. That was probably plantains. Plantanos. All right, so let me go back up to the beginning, and because I didn't want to just dissect it, and not get into it. So now we're gonna go into Samhain. And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. So if you Gaelic and you mad, oops, my bad. Samhain is a Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season and beginning of winter or darker half of the year. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is held on the 1st of November, but the celebrations beginning on the evening of the 31st of October as the Celtic day began and ended at sunset. This is about halfway between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. It is one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals along with I'm not even going to get into all of that. So when I was reading on Wikipedia, right, about Halloween, it says that it may have pagan roots. So what I learned from when I was doing witchcraft, like when I was trying to go back and find like what was like the oldest like cultural, historical paganism, it always brought me back to Celtics. That was the most esoteric, and I don't know if I'm using that word right. As far as like, you know, researching knowledge and not being able to find it. Okay, esoteric. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest. Okay, so maybe it wasn't esoteric knowledge, but they made it seem like it was, definitely, when it came to, you know, looking for the real roots of paganism, and it always went back, and I feel like this some racist ass shit. Not like I'm with it anyway, but it always went back to Ireland and, you know, these places, you know, Gaelic and Celtic, and I had to look that up. I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't know nobody from those countries, from those places. I never talked to nobody or met nobody in my life. that has ever presented any of this to me. And so I had to like continually do research. And so from my understanding, when I was into paganism, this was definitely a holiday, you know, as pointed out, in between the solstice and like the equinox. You know, it was definitely used as an opportunity. But what I never got from it was that it was a holiday. When I was researching paganism, I never found the understanding that it was a holiday created to mock Christianity. And so that idea would make me believe that it was a Christian holiday first, because one thing I learned about, you know, just anti I don't even know how to say it right, anti-Jesus or Christian religions or sects of witchcraft is one of the most important things is that everything that is done on a holy day is in reverse now done on our holy day. So literally, if it was holy to God and the Creator and the Christians, it's going to be holy to me, and I'm going to reverse it. Just like they take the cross and they turn it upside down.
Right.
And so even though the cross isn't special for them, it is very important turning it upside down. And understanding what that literally means. Inverted, confusion, backwards. You know, I think when you think of these things, I don't know how to break it down because my brain is just be all over the place. It just brings me to yin and yang.
Yin,
yeah, whatever. Yin and yang.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fact check.
Everybody puts a yin on it. I mean, a G on it when no, it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And so, and it's about to bring me to some other ill shit. So yin and yang. In ancient Chinese philosophy, yin and yang. What? Chinese what? Dark, bright. Negative and positive. Yin and yang is a concept of dualism, describing how seemingly opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world, and how they may give rise to each other as they interrelate to one another. In Chinese cosmology, the universe creates itself out of a primary chaos of material energy, organized into the cycles of yin and yang, and formed into objects and lives. Yin is receptive, and yang the active principle, seen in all forms of change and difference, such as the annual cycle, winter and summer, the landscape, north-facing shade or south-facing brightness, sex coupling, female or male, the formation of both women and men as characters, and socio-political history, disorder, and order. All of that sounds really good, and it is an extremely dangerous concept when more exposed to either side. And so again, there's the good side and the bad side to everything. I get that concept.
Right.
But the fact that they need each other, that there is no one without the other, that I feel like is the dangerous side of saying, you know, that it's a Christian holiday. And so if it's a Christian holiday, I just need to understand where in the Bible that is. And if it's not in the Bible, what good does it do for Wikipedia, for atheists, for anybody who is against Christianity or Jesus or any of those concepts? What good does it do them to lie on this religion and say that this has something to do with that? And so, listen, that's way down the rabbit hole, because it's about manipulation. It's about your level of understanding. And guys, don't get me twisted. Like, I'm not out here preaching about anything other than questioning everything and not believing any one particular source that anybody tells you. Because again, I'm reading this information out Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, that anybody can hop on here and edit the information. But when I tell you, like, and I hate to say this, but Christians who don't read the Bible don't ever want to hear it when you say go read the Bible. And so all I'm saying is, I'm not banging with like what they're saying. I didn't even get into like the Catholic side of it. So that's what we're going to touch on now, right? So when they said, I had to look up Samhain, and like I said, shout out to the Gaelics. I don't bang with none of that. But boom, as long as you ain't sacrificing people, I'm with the shiz, right? Okay. Now we get into Catholicism. Okay. Again, we're talking about misinformation. We're talking about misdirection. We're talking about lies and deception. We're talking about using deceit as a tool. These are all background underlying things that I want to get into. Like, that's where we at. That's what we already in the hole. You already in the hole with me. Right. Like I said before, I don't know how you got here. I don't know what made you click on the podcast today, yesterday, next week, or next year. But guess what? It's 2020 and it's wild out here on the unknown.
Shout out to Unknown Podcast.
What the fuck? What kind of disclaimer was that? He didn't even prep me for the disclaimer, y'all. He just was like, what?
I made a face.
I know. I was like, oh, shit. I don't know what he's about to say. I hope the crowd is with it. Y'all with it? Let me know on the Instagram. Anyway, let's get into it. Pope Gregory IV made All Saints Day an authorized holiday year 835 CE.
What?
I don't know what CE means. I know before Christ
AD
was BC. After the death of Christ was AD. I don't know what time CD was. I mean, CE. So y'all gonna have to help me. Hit me on Instagram. Let me know. It is speculated that the chosen day for the event, November 1st, may have been an attempt to supplant the pagan festival of the dead, also known as Samhain, or the Feast of Salmon, Lord of Death. See, I didn't even get into that. But I had to look up your boy Pope Gregory to find out. And so that's, again, misinformation, bruh. Because when we looked up Samhain, right, did it say anything about the Lord of the Dead?
Nope.
No. When we looked up Halloween, it said, ooh, I mean, it may or may not, you know what I'm saying? They dancing on the line. That's motherfucking Wikipedia. They know the truth, but they dancing on the line, huh?
Lots of head nodding in the crowd. I see you. So you might ask, what that got to do about black people?
Oh, shit. What that got to do with black people? So first of all, we in a country that ain't really got shit to do with us. That has created a culture around us that's not our culture. That's getting rich off of our skin, complexion, interests, popular abilities. But are we benefiting from it? No. And so no matter what you choose, you need to be careful where you are in the world and what they teach you, being brown, because apparently somebody out to deceive us. Now, I don't know where y'all at, but I'm in America, where we are protesting in the streets, talking about Black Lives Matter, as if that's not a common sense thing, that any human being was born with understanding that every skin color matter. And so what does it have to do with blacks? Well, if you black
in
and you
America.
celebrating Halloween, and you ain't black and Gaelic, and you ain't black and Irish, then for me, you just black and confused, my dude. And that's all I'm trying to avoid on the All Black Experience podcast. That's all I'm trying to avoid. Don't be black and lost. Don't be black and confused.
Black thought.
Shit. And the way it's looking is like we got to create our own culture over here. So understand the difference between creating your own culture and adopting some shit that don't belong to you. So, I mean, we could touch on a lighter subject when it comes to that. The Spanish girl from the Fast and the Furious was like...
Michelle Rodriguez?
I think that's the one. She was like, oh, I don't want them to make no Spanish... I don't want them to take a white comic book character and put a Spanish person in the place. We have our own...
Heroes, yeah. Don't...
Why can't they get a movie?
Was it... No. Was it you I was talking about? No. It was my friend. We were talking about James Bond. The new James Bond isn't Daniel Craig anymore. It's going to be some black lady.
I thought it was supposed to be Idris Elba. What happened? He turned it down?
No.
Or that was just speculation?
That was they probably talked to him, and there was a lot of hope that he would have been the first black James Bond.
That shit would have been
the big man
so
and stuff.
So shout out to Idris Elba, and he could rap too.
This man,
sexy.
I'm like the Black Superman. He would have been perfect for James Bond. Now, there's a couple things. So, the mantle of 007 isn't necessarily reserved for James Bond. It's just 00 is the double agents. You're a spy. And then it's numerical values associated with each agent. So 007 generally is always James Bond.
Oh, so it's going to be 006 a girl?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, it could be. But so to make him black or some other race, but that would have been cool, right? Idris Elba would have been...
That would have been fucking lit.
That would have been great. But, okay, I feel like they're pandering. I feel like they're pandering. Black.
It's had to
it's
be
gonna be
black.
a woman, and yeah. So make her black, make it a girl, and then some of my friends speculated that it's probably going to be something along the lines of they're going to be gay or bi, and it's like you can kind of see it coming because a lot of things have done that. It's poorly written shows, poorly written characters. And it was boiling over the top before George Floyd and everything. So now it's here, and then it's on shirts, it's on like some soccer teams got jerseys that says Black Lives Matter and this that and the other. It's everywhere. It's cool to be a protester and to support minorities and stuff, and it should have been a way from the beginning cool. But to do this feels like they're pandering because there's. Idris Elba would have been the natural selection.
Wow.
They could have done.
They try to say that your man is 48 years old.
Who? Idris?
So his window of opportunity to be James Bond is closed.
Bullshit.
How the fuck old was Sean Connery?
Sean Connery hated James Bond as well, just to throw that out there.
And he was in like 5 of the fucking 6 of the movies.
He was the first James Bond.
Yes.
And he was man. So we got Sean Connery. We got and
I don't fuck with
Rambo,
Sean Connery either. John
Sylvester.
Cena.
No. So Sylvester Stallone just finished his last Rambo, and he's old as shit.
He's old as
Arnold
shit.
Schwarzenegger still making Terminators. He's old as shit. And then don't forget all the 80s action movie stars that we know and love and grew up with.
Oh, he died at 90 years old?
Who?
Sean Connery.
Yeah. Idris, what's his name? What's that movie? Expendables. Every action movie from the 80s and 90s, all the heroes that we loved. The Expendables. They made 3 of them. They're making another Jackass. At least they're saying they are. So, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's a cop-out if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, I think he was born from like 30 to 50. From 35 to 50 or something. He was born.
Who?
But, Sean Connery.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I ain't got it. Yeah, that's all bullshit. All of that shit is whack.
It could have been he could have been Sam Fisher, but James Bond, like just old as shit, still operating. Like
I can't.
what
They
you talking
said
about?
Idris did a movie called The Take, and that's probably as close as we're ever gonna get to see him do something like James Bond ish.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. Like niggas can't, you know, they can't give us a chance because we some ninjas.
Yep.
And that's been causing controversy all over the interwebs. Where was we at before we went down that fucking
So we were talking
rabbit
about. We were
hole?
kind of trying to keep it light.
Oh, you was trying to bring it back. Oh yeah, I was trying to bring it to the light side. Okay, and you brought it into the black part. All right, so where we was at, we was googling Sam. Okay, so Samhain holiday, the Samhain, and again, it's Samhain, y'all. Like I don't know how to say it, and I don't care. The Samhain, or the Feast of Salmon, the Lord of Death. Okay. So this is a little wiki excerpt. Following his death, Prince Saman became a god by the name of God Mahasumana Saman. He is also thought to have been born as Deva, another god of the heavens, following his death due to his great past merit, who also became the presiding deity of Sari Pada. Like, listen, I don't know enough about like y'all religion where y'all could just, and I don't know what religion, what, I mean, maybe I should have said culture, where y'all could just, boom, you died and now you're somebody important. Okay, let me read more. I clicked on it. The Saman deity. They always got a daggone fly ass robe in the picture. And I can't tell whether it's the dudes is girls or the girls is dudes. That's one thing that bothered me about them real pretty. Because the picture is pretty. It's a pretty picture of Samhain, Saman, whatever. But guess what? You could have been a whole chick. We not gonna get into that. Sinhala Samain Sumana is a deity subject to local and indigenous belief and worship in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka? Is that how you even say it?
Somewhere.
Whatever. The name Saman means the rising morning sun. I bet you don't know who nickname that is.
The rising morning. Who or
the morning
where?
sun.
Japan.
Who nickname is that? No. Person or character. Yeah, I know you don't know. It's the devil. Ooh. God's favorite angel that turned against him. What? Oh, okay. But it ain't got nothing to do with us, right? Sure. Right. His character is of historical significance for the Sinhalese people and veneration, especially to all the Buddhists. God Mahasumana Saman is depicted crowned and bejeweled, holding a lotus flower in his right or left hand, accompanied by a white elephant. According to Mahamasa, the early chronicle of Sri Lanka, Saman is considered as one of the guardian deities of the island and Buddhism in the country. And they say a whole bunch of other words that I can't. And they're saying that those words are other guardian deities. Nayakar dynasty from South India introduced the goddess Patini, replacing god Saman during the period of the Kandyan kingdom. So basically, I mean, that sounds like real life. So these people was worshiping one thing, and then these people came in and was like, yeah, that's cool. We're going to replace it with this. Okay. Saman is a guardian patron deity or presiding deity of another place with a long word that starts with an S. According to his main shrine in Devalsya in Ranapura, where an annual festival is held in his honor. Listen, I really need to meet somebody who can help me with my pronunciation of these words from this country, because I ain't trying to be disrespectful.
Copy paste that shit, Google.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but then they start talking about like Vietnam and Japan, and like it started getting phonetical. They start putting dashes in between words. Like, let me help you pronounce it. Like, we
Really?
know you gonna fuck this up. Like, you know what? And so all I'm saying is, none of that got to this shit that popped up. None of that got to the shit that popped up. All of this is making this like it's all sounding real good. It's all sounding real good. But why did they say Samhain is the Lord of Death? Please explain that to me. Was Samhain named after the god of the dead? However, a writer in 18th century incorrectly stated that Samhain was named after the Celtic god of the dead. Many religious conservatives who are opposed to Halloween, Druidism, Wicca, and other neo-pagan religions have picked up this belief without checking its accuracy. They have accepted it as valid. Oh my gosh, that's even more ratchet.
Sus.
Yes, and so this is what I be talking about. When you read one thing that one thing say, and then you read something else, like the myth about the Celtic god of the dead. Some believe he existed in association with Halloween and neo-pagan religions. Yep, but it ain't true. Or, I mean, I don't know. This website saying it ain't true. All I'm saying is y'all better pay attention. And again, you got to do research. You got to do extensive research. And you got to read between the lines. The point of me bringing up Catholicism is that I've been doing a lot of research about, the Catholics who basically made all of these decisions for the Christians, but we didn't have similar beliefs. I mean, we had like a basis of beliefs.
Right.
But then y'all created all these other rules and doctrine and like put all these other things that was in place that's not in the Bible, dude. And that's just like, I don't know. You're a little sketchy. Every time I went to a Catholic church, they kept telling me I was gonna go to hell. I was just like, this is not really the energy for me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It was just all too much. But one thing I definitely learned is like when you go back and do the research, like every pope is just a person. Like everybody makes mistakes. Everybody goes through the challenges that they go through, and more than anything, when you look at it, it's almost like politics.
Oh yeah.
Over there in Rome.
That's
a whole thing over there.
That is literally their seat of power, the Vatican. Rome.
Yeah.
Pope,
they made themselves their own state. So can't nobody shut them down.
The church
can't
is
nobody
the state.
control. Yeah, the church is the state. And they can make up whatever. And so what is the danger? Being a black person is not knowing your true roots. And then the deeper that you dig is more confusion and more bullshit. Because I don't understand, like, the whole basis of our beliefs and everything, it comes from Catholics. So then you need to go to Catholic church so you can understand. Because, go ahead.
It's that, and then it's based on their
insanity.
interpretation.
Yes. A lot of it is about their interpretation and how they feel and what they think is best. Not what the Bible recommends or what Jesus literally said in the red words. But, oh yeah, sorry y'all. But it be getting deep. I be getting worked up, y'all. I'm sorry. I be getting worked up. With my nails, I be getting worked up, y'all. Like, I just can't do it. Oh,
no. That's how they used to do it. Now it's the claps. Do we have a problem?
Oh, stupid. Mm-hmm. And then you gotta turn your neck sideways when you talking. Like, can you hear me?
Talking to you?
My neck is about to break off because I can lost and confused right now. So listen, y'all, like I can't. I'm trying to make this brief. I'm trying to get y'all some education again. All of this is about you need to figure this shit out for yourself. But don't again, Mobius keep putting me on the spot, bro. If you black, my nigga, don't think cause you was raised in America, cause you ain't Day to Dead, El Dia de los Muertes. I'm not Mexican. I'm not from that country. I'm not about that. I don't celebrate that. I don't understand. They celebrating that shit around you. It's just like the movies, all the scary movies. It's Halloween, so let's talk about it. It's just like all the motherfucking scary movies. And you be watching them Jones. And you be like, hey, don't do that. But every day in real life, you be doing it. Like everything you was like, don't do it. Don't make that turn. I wouldn't have did that. Nigga, you be
Joe
doing it every
scary ass.
day. What's one of all my favorite movies? It be some youngins and they go in the house and they open the book and they start reading it. Oh shit. Oh shit. You don't know what that book say, but you gonna start reading it and you gonna read it out loud. What happened every time? And so it's the same shit, y'all. Except you ain't gotta read the book. You be watching the shit. You be listening to the shit on the radio.
OG Manji head ass.
You be repeating the shit. Let the shit play back in your mind. All the shit the motherfuckers be saying, kill, 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 death, 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 murder, 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 rob, rob, rob is the only way to get a Rari. Come on, Joe. Stop playing yourself. You're being brainwashed by things. And you think on some voodoo, hoodoo, scary movie shit, you think, oh, if I don't believe in it, it can't get me. The fuck? You don't have to believe, excuse me, you don't have to believe in Jesus. He's still going to be there. You don't have to believe in the morning star. You don't have to. And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to end it on a very positive I'm going to try to do it on a non-religious note. But let me run through the Day of the Dead. El Dia de los Muertos is a Mexican holiday where families welcome back the souls of their deceased relatives for a brief reunion that includes food, drink, and celebration. A blend of Mesoamerican ritual, European religion, and Spanish culture. Okay, I don't know what Mesoamerican ritual is, but I understand European religion. Huh? So they admitting to it in this shout out to the history. I don't really like the History Channel. I don't like the history.com that's owned by the History Channel. I don't. But anyway, they talking a little bit of truth every now and then. My point is, what it say? It's a European religion that's being celebrated in South America, in Mexico. And come on. The devil or the deceivers, they will bring their message any and everywhere. You pay attention. You pay attention. Just pay attention. The holiday is celebrated each year from the 31st of October until the 2nd of November. While October 31st is Halloween, November 1st is El Dia de los Inocentes, or the Day of the Children, and All Saints Day. November 2nd is the All Souls Day, or the Day of the Dead. According to tradition, the gates of heaven are opened at midnight on October 31st, and the spirits of children can rejoin their families for 24 hours. The spirits of adults can do the same on November 2nd. I don't want to be disrespectful to nobody's heritage or nobody's belief, so I probably shouldn't say too much. I don't bang with none of that shit, though. That's the nicest thing I can say. I don't bang with it. That's the nicest thing I can say.
Were you going to say, is it a critical comment? Or is it just
it's just mean. It was just mean. Okay. I ain't just with that shit. I'm not with that shit. Nice. Like, I can't be critical because I'm a religious person. So how hypocritical for me to criticize say something. Exactly. And so at the end of the day, all I was really trying to do was, like, I know for a fact that you're not supposed to hang out and, like, this is so funny. You're not supposed to hang out with the dead, y'all. Somewhere in the Bible, it was like, oh, that nigga died. Okay, leave that nigga over there. Like, you're not supposed to. It's a dead body. No. You leave that dead body over there. That's none of your business. You alive and he gone. Like, in the Bible, it's like you need to move on type situation. So all of this, I'm going to spend days. I'm going to spend weeks. I'm going to spend a year. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine you lost somebody in December. And you tripping off this stuff. So you think, oh, I got to wait until October 31st. You know what I'm saying? Or November 2nd. And you, like, it's just, you know, I just feel like the concept where it put people in their head is not in the right place. This worshiping, you know, there's a difference between a memorial for the dead and, like, spending 3 days about that shit. Like, that's, you know, that's difficult. That's difficult. So, you know, again, I'm not trying to be critical of nobody. Shout out to Mexico. Shout out to Mexican Americans. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the South, period. The deep South, South America. Like, listen, I'm going to have to do my research. I'm still trying to have an understanding. Because, you know, they're heavily Catholic, too. And so they just go hard. And so let's switch it over to what is a cult? We got several definitions. You already know how I do. A cult, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. Okay, that's one.
The cult of personality.
That was weird. A relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. I like that. A cult, a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. I think that's worship. The synonyms for that definition is obsession with, fixation on, mania for, passion for, idolization of. And I think that's where that fits in perfectly. Cult, a person or a thing that is popular or fashionable, especially among a particular section of society, like a cult film or a craze, a fad.
Cult classics.
Yeah, basically. So, you know, listen, I feel like that word is just, people just use it. It's funny. Like, you're weird and you want some wild shit. And I really take it deeper than that. Like, a cult to me is when you, like, real live been brainwashed. So it take over. Oh, let me look at this one. A social group cult. In modern English, a cult is a social group that is defined by its unusual religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs. There we go. Philosophical beliefs. Or by its common interest in the particular personality, object, or goal. The sense of the term is controversial, having divergent definitions both in popular culture and academia. Yeah, of course. And has also been an ongoing source of contention among scholars across several fields of study. It is usually considered pejorative. So I just want to throw that out there. Like, listen, if you ever think that somebody tried to invite you to a cult, definitely hit me up on Instagram and let me know. You already know what it is. It's unknown, period, unknowns. But instead of an O, use a 0. And instead of an S, use a 5. Hit us on the Instagram and let us know. Like, if you felt like you ever met somebody who tried to recruit you into a cult. Or if you felt like a cult, like you was friends with somebody and you felt like they might have fell into a cult. Because that shit definitely happened to me before, and that shit was crazy. Like, not to me, but like a friend of mine, and she kept telling me all this shit, and I was just like,
nah, you crazy.
No, I was sitting there like, that sounds
awesome.
like a cult. No, I was like, yeah. I was like, and so this is so funny. So I don't want to bring up the topic without coming away with something positive, right? What is a cult? Here go a few warning signs. Okay, y'all. This is what I got for y'all. Warning signs to look for. Well, first of all, just based on all the movies, a cult is when you go somewhere and they try to get you to join and everything look real sweet and everything look real perfect until you join. Obviously, that it's way too late after that. But like, no.
If you have to surrender your phone to join. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places that are making you surrender.
Well, there's like, is it for security reasons? Is it for privacy reasons?
Sure, they're gonna use all of those reasons.
Right. But is it a government facility or an election hall, or you gotta ask yourself a few questions. Why? We don't want people taking photos of people. Well, I got a flip phone and it's got no cameras on it.
Okay, listen, you doing the most.
I mean, if they're like, Nah, we just rather you not have it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to come in here all of a sudden no more.
You're supposed to have 3 cell phones.
Mhm.
Anyway, like, you're supposed to have cell phones like guns. You got like a cell phone taped to
New
your
York
ankle.
reload, boy.
That shit is crazy. So the first thing it says to look out for is like mad press. Is mad press. Basically, if in that cult they're telling you if they're against Jesus, first of all, hold on. Like, general statement to my atheists, bruh, to all my atheists, I don't care how much you can hate Christianity, but whether you believe in that Jesus was a real existing person who just had good game, or whether you think he's a fictitious character that people just wrote about because they lost their mind, either way, everything you hear about Jesus was positive, nice, like he's the coolest dude ever. So it's like, if they like, yeah, don't trust that nigga Jesus, like, you probably might not shouldn't trust them. But I'm just, that's just from a religious standpoint. So let's skip to like real facts on how to be like, maybe not. Second, most cults are led by a dynamic, charismatic leader who eventually controls and manipulates his or her followers.
Hitler.
Wow. Nice. Of course, all they going to talk about is Jim Jones, because this is America right here. This is America. Jim Jones was a psychopathic, manipulative, controlling, and insidious leader.
They didn't pull any punches.
None. He founded the People's Temple in Indiana during the 1950s. Jim began moving to different cities, gaining followers at each one. In the mid-70s, he relocated all his followers to Guyana and the northwest coast of South America. Eventually, they all killed each other with some Kool-Aid spiked with cyanide. Anyway, don't get caught up. The next one is, most cult leaders grow up in a Christian environment. Well, the only thing I can say about that is, when you grow up with such a heavy foundation, it's real easy to distort it and make it your own, to create your own version.
Yep.
And so I agree with that statement, because it seemed like a lot of them do that. Like, I was looking up a lot of like different cult shits. So this shit happened actually on Dr. Phil's show last week. They did a little special where they showed, like, after 30 years they freed all of these women from this cult, and it was called like the Zion or something. Like, they all basically make it seem like they're Christian or like they believe in God, and then they just switch the whole doctrine. Like, they beating kids with sticks. We understand spoil the rod, spare the child. That's about like discipline. But like physical abuse, my dude. Physical and mental abuse is not what the Bible is about. And so any situation where somebody is using Jesus to beat the crap out of you, they are not on Jesus' team for real.
Nope.
Just to make it clear, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying not to get too deep, but it is all hollows, etc. Cult leaders tend to ignore, confuse, add to, or demean the Bible's teachings. Yep, and yep. Young, my biggest thing is when the parents be getting with it, and then they just be dropping their kids off, bruh. And they kids just,
I need an adult.
like, bruh, that shit is just crazy. They just drop their kids off to these cults and just let the cult raise their ass. Always pay attention. Okay, cults use devious methods to trap, deceive, and control their followers. Okay? Behavior control. An individual's association, living arrangements, food, clothing, sleeping habits, finances are strictly controlled. Information control. Cult leaders deliberately withhold or distort information, lie, propagandize, and limit access to other sources of information. Bruh, that's a real technique. Thought control. Cult leaders use loaded words and language, discourage critical thinking, bar any speech critical of cult leaders or policies, and teach an us versus everyone else doctrine.
Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
Goodness. Emotional control. Leaders manipulate their followers. Oh wait, you talking about what they did to the girl in the Scott Pilgrim?
No,
the just, dude who was bribing her.
No, I'm saying insert name here versus the world. So the Nazis versus the world.
Okay.
This particular cult versus the world.
Yeah. Okay. And emotional control. Leaders manipulate their followers via fear, including the fear of losing salvation or the fear of being shunned. A lot of the jumps I done seen on TV is more like being shunned because they get your mama, they got all your siblings, and then it's like if you try to leave their cult, you done left your whole fucking family. And that is hard to walk away from everything you know, everything you love, and everything you care about, bro. Like, that shit is dangerous. So anyway, and then, I don't know, general understanding. Like, people join cults for all types of reasons. They lonely. They confused. They looking for spiritual experiences. They feel powerless over their life. They looking for something different. They're runaways.
What's that shit? The dude, the motivational speaker guy who talks about getting money and shit.
Ooh, I got one for you.
What is his
I got
name?
one from the 80s I'm gonna tell you about.
What's his name? Oh, okay, good.
But I don't know which one you talking about.
Motivational.
And I gotta find this shit. So I just watched the interview, Napoleon Hill.
Tony Robbins.
All right, go ahead.
I worked one of those, and it was...
You worked one?
I worked one
a seminar or something?
Yeah, and he just came out and talked. That's all he did, right? But the stuff...
Is it this white guy?
Tony Robbins up there.
Oh, I'm slow.
He did he came out and did a seminar.
Oh, I was just watching him.
Yeah.
On one.
What'd you do?
No, they was taking snippets of like
just him talking.
all the like most richest men in the world and like what their recommendations and how they got there, and they had him on there.
So what he was doing there, like, the
Gasoline.
I can't talk about that. When I was there, they had me up front, and it was interesting because like everybody was there. It was like super nice, everybody was having a good time.
Of course.
And then he came on. There was like people who came up before him talking, and they were just like, "Hey, here's my notes, and here's what I got right here, and I'm a guest speaker or whatever." So he finally came out and started talking, and then he would have people sort of do these side objectives where they kind of break off into groups and talk about stuff, and this is who are my background, all this stuff, and then now exchange these pieces of paper and talk about something, and then he came out and was like, he would come out and go, "All right, now we're gonna have a couple minutes of just like activity," and it was just like people dancing to just music and stuff, just to on one side it's like they've been sitting all day, so you want to get them moving and stuff, but on the other, people like, no, keep going, keep dancing, keep doing that. And then people were just like, I'm here to talk about business and shit. Like, what? I don't want to dance. There was a lot of confused. Faces, and I was like, I feel like this is a cult. Is this a cult? I don't like this. I feel weird here. But so I was up front, and I'm like looking at people really concerned, and they were looking at me really concerned. And then I was there for so long that I was freezing because he likes it cold. They had to bring in like 4 large ACs to fill up this arena to keep it cold on stage because all the house lights are on him. And so he's like burning up, and I'm there just below him, freezing. And so they pulled me from the stage, and I was just like, yeah, I'm literally anywhere else.
So you was on the stage at this point?
No, I was like, there's the stage, and then there's steps to the stage. I was at the steps to the stage to keep people from coming up there to me.
Oh, okay.
But it was, the ACs were in the crowd. They had to
I get it. They was blowing up.
They were blowing in my face. And then,
freezing up.
And then this one guy was right in front of me, and he just got up and he went to the back and was like, "Yo, that dude needs to move right now." And then they came and got me. It was like, yo, the dude before you had a coat on and he was freezing. So you just had a line. Go ahead, man. You're done here. And I was like, sweet. So they put me back at the house. But even still, like, I'm still walking around and making my rounds and stuff. And they're, all right, now random dance part 5 again. Woo! And it's just music. And watching that gave me a moment of pause. Because the dude is clearly successful. He knows what he's talking about. But it's like, this is supposed to be a professional environment where you're talking about serious hard. If you got to break it up, hey, everybody take 5, go get a snack. Which he did. There was the break in between them. He gets new material. But it's like, if you got to break it up a little bit more and get people to do something, just walk around, just kind of mingle, just talk amongst yourselves, and we're going to come back after a short break, and then he play a video or something. If you got to do that, all right, cool. But to do the dance party shit, and it's not even like, the light, they would turn the lights off, and then have all the strobe lights going and stuff. Like, what is this, a fucking club? This is I'm glad I'm back.
I'm about to Google now. Tony Robbins dance party.
That shit, man. I was like, is this a cult? Because this is what a cult looks like to me.
Did he call it dancing with fear?
No, it just
because that's a whole thing. Apparently, he has fear dancing classes.
Maybe that actually might be it. Like, you got to shake off your fear, and then people start dancing or some shit. I don't know. This was a couple years ago, so I'm sort of grabbing for
2017. So, yeah, this dude is wow. I can't even get this. I'm trying not to click on it. Okay. It really almost played.
Okay. Well,
yo, your man is wild as shit. So it just felt odd. It felt strange. It felt like
very.
If we're again, we ain't go too far into it. I just briefly looked into it. Something about dancing the fear off. I can see how you could use that as a strategy. I've been paying attention to a lot of self-help people on YouTube. I'm all about free education and motivating and understanding things for yourself. And so, you have to go through what they say. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to get to Prince.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and so you got to do a lot of research.
He'd be like, all right, hug the person next to you and then hug the person behind you. And that was like, people aren't there. Like, some people weren't there for that.
I get that, though.
I
get it, though.
I was like...
I get it.
I do.
It's to open you up.
I do, yeah.
It's to make you... So here's the wild shit. Whatever he's selling, when you walk away and you feel good, this is like one of the top sales tactics when it comes to ripping people the fuck off. Mm-hmm. And what they say is the difference between being hustled and feeling hustled.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could have got hustled
and never knew it.
But if you don't feel hustled, so the good hustler makes you walk away feeling amazing, feeling like you got your money's worth, you got what you paid for. And so the only thing I could think of is that he's making people walk away with so much positive energy that they kind of have diverted the fact that I came here for this.
Yeah. What is this about?
And did he give me what I really came here for?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay. Deception. So that leads me to Napoleon Hill. We're gonna close it out with your boy Napoleon Hill. So Google Napoleon Hill, young, and I'm gonna get with y'all. This poem, I didn't even give a name, so maybe it should be called All Hallows Eve. That's dumb. Anyway. So easily deceived by the truths you've given me and call it education. So infatuated by anything hidden from me, just like urban legends. Please take heed, listen, or read each syllable. Please believe you can achieve a demon or a debug. So, mentally, I challenge thee, obtaining all I can, indulging in pagan rites until I understand. Mama didn't raise a fool, but you'd never know. I ran away from her foundations. Now, testimonies are my oath. Yeah, you already know. Thank you for joining the... What? Oh, the Poetry Corner? The Unknowns Poetry Corner. Real trap shit. Alright, I like that. I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to do that from now on if I remember. That shit is lit. Okay, so in order to wrap up this awesome event that we're having, thank y'all for listening. I don't know whether you on the way to work or whatever.
Let me know.
But you made it through this motherfucking podcast, and I just hope that you got something you could take away. Like, real talk. Like, I want people to, like, always, I want y'all to listen to this podcast, and like, that should be fucking you up for like a week. You be like, yo, but did you hear they say this shit? That shit crazy. But did you hear about that shit? Like, listen, and don't take my word for shit. Don't take my word from shit. Because what I tell y'all, I'm telling you, my sources are the best motherfucking liars on the internet that I can find, my dude. But some of this shit, you really got to search within yourself. Some of this shit, you really got to meditate on for hours of your motherfucking life to reach a different motherfucking level. Straight up. So I'm going to leave you like this. You know. I guess, you know, the holiday and everything like that. Or the not so holiday, because I don't believe in that.
The Nazi party.
Oh gosh, the Nazi party.
That was your joke and you got me saying it.
I love you so much for it. Mobius is the best. So I listened to a book on tape called Interview with the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I bang with this Jones so heavy. I'm gonna try my best to force Mobius to listen to this shit, cause he don't be trying to bang with none of this. But you really gotta pay attention, bro. You really gotta pay attention. It's this book, and there's one more book that I know it's on my Audible. So let me try to multitask right now. I need y'all to check this out. I need y'all to listen to this Jones. The other name of it is what? Outwitting the Devil or something? Interview with the Devil, Outwitting the Devil. So basically, I think this is very, very cool. I'm very interested. It was written in 1983. One of the things you got to pay attention and you got to be very careful with, excuse me, it was written in 1938, bro.
Ooh.
So would they redid it in 1983? Like, hold on, brother. Like, that shit is absolutely crazy. How did I turn on airplane mode? I don't know what's happening. It was, 1938. So let me tell you some shit. When you listening to you reading anything that has a level of truth to it, you gotta pay attention and you gotta read what I said. Read in between the lines. Don't just understand what you reading. You need to understand what you reading. This shit was wrote in 1938. When you listen to it, initially, it make you think that, oh, they, you know, this is like a pro-Jesus type dude writing a book. No, I'm telling you, you need to listen to this. If you look up Napoleon Hill, first of all, he was a Mason. I think he was an atheist. He was a get-rich-quick scheme-ass nigga. But he white. He a cracker. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The name of the book is Interview with the Devil. The whole book, he asking the devil. The devil can't ask him no questions. He asking the devil all these questions. Why you do what you do, how you do it, and how you get away with the shit. You know what the devil say? I'm the with the yin or the yang. Which one is the dark one?
I think Yang.
Yeah. He like I'm the dark one, basically. So what? So if the concept of yin and yang really exists and you the dark one, then and he basically saying like you don't even have to acknowledge me and you don't have to acknowledge the light either. And you can live your best life. And that's what I don't bang with. Because it's a lot of deception. Like if your head is not in the right place, like let's keep it 1,000. If you're an atheist and you listen to this shit, you gonna think, dang, you just read the what's the book? The power of the secret to freedom and success. The power to becoming a millionaire. What did I read earlier? They be doing on Halloween with the Halloween games that they play called divination. Like, what are you talking about? It's all about you can imagine, think positively, and it'll happen for you. Nah, nigga, don't. All of that shit sound good. It ain't even just about putting in no work. It ain't just about thinking positively. It's a whole bunch of levels to the game. And like he said, one of the best things that your boy like to do is when you get close to your goal, he like to just smack the ball out the hoop. He like to just, you be about to do the alley hoop and he smack your man out the way. Nobody gonna grab it. It's no buckets over here.
Not in my house.
And the shit is just crazy because you listen to him and he like, I intentionally fuck your life up, but I don't exist. Like, that shit backwards. Anyway, I'm telling y'all, go out there and do y'all research, man. Look up this dude, Napoleon Hill. I need you to listen to this book, yo. I want everybody to have all the best success. And so even though he's saying things that I don't necessarily agree with and I think can negatively impact you, like, listen, you gotta know your enemy, bro. You gotta know your enemy better than they know you. And so, listen, I need to know all the moves you making, why you making the moves that you making, you know what I'm saying? So I can act accordingly, so I can know not to make those moves, how to make the moves similar to those, like whatever the case is, yo. I'm telling you, this shit crazy. So do y'all research, yo. Everybody want to get rich quick. But it ain't that easy and it ain't that simple. And you gotta pay attention to the niggas who writing the books, the niggas who giving the seminars, how much money they asking you for, what they really got you doing. Like, for a lot of these people, they just came to get a check. It's not really about making you successful. You wanting to become successful and you paying me to get what I got, that should have fucked you up. One more book I want to shout out. I don't even see who wrote this book right quick. Shout out to National Sunday Law. Dang, who wrote the book? All right, let me just read about it and then maybe it'll tell me. National Sunday Law involves a conspiracy theory which alleges the United States government is on the verge of enacting a national blue law that will make Sunday a day of rest and worship. The theory depends on the idea that the Pope is the Antichrist and the mark of the beast is worshipped on Sunday. Sinister forces are conspiring to enact a national Sunday law in the United States, which would trigger that which unleashes the fulfillment of the prophecies found in the biblical books of Daniel and the Revelations. In addition, this law would outlaw worshiping on Saturday, thus being a period of persecution of those who worship on Saturday. All right? So why would that even matter? Sabbath. The definition of Sabbath: a day of religious observance and abstinence from work kept by the Jews from Friday evening to Saturday evening and by most Christians on Sunday. Now, for the pagans, the Sabbath is a supposed annual midnight meeting of witches and the devil. I say all of this to say, if you don't pay attention, what you're celebrating, who you're voting for, who's in charge, what's really going on around you in your life. If you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything. Point blank, period. Thank you for diving into the rabbit hole with your host, Shady Cartier, and
Melbius.
what's good?
This was a long episode, yo.
What's poppin'? This shit is crazy. It definitely was. Like, we had to come back with a motherfucking, with a hard hitter. And so, y'all, we almost at the 90 minutes, like, almost right on the dot. Thank y'all for hitting us. Hit us on the Instagram, unknowns, period, unknowns. Wait, it's unknown, period, unknowns. You already know what it is. I don't know what episode we on, but come on. Get with us.
Special.
The Halloween special. Get with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Share this with somebody. Show some love.